Okay, so this will. You're kind of loud, Nia. This will probably be one of the, I guess, less intensive things I do for the ongoing Pokkén Tournament DX series. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my battle records, and I'm basically just going to play a bunch of replays because I was recently invited to do a bunch of friendlies. So that a friend of mine on the Pokkén Discord could get used to playing Blastoise. And this person also happened to be a Suicune main. Okay, and this was at the time of recording. It's around the time that I'm working on Suicune and putting out videos and eventually a guide for Suicune. So I said to myself, you know, this will be a just good practice. Good practice to fight Suicune as Blastoise, because Suicune and Gardevoir are Blastoise's two worst matchups, I find. And you know, it just meshes well with me putting out a bunch of Suicune videos. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start from the bottom. The replay, I guess, function in this game, it records the last 16 fights, and it does so throughout your ranked matches, as you can see here. So, you know, 16 ranked matches here, and then these are friendly matches, and then these are group matches, which are, well, the friendly matches you can either do just random matchmaking, or you can, if you have a code, you can give the other person a code. They can type in a code and you all will get matched up with each other. Group matches behave like lobbies. They're pretty bad compared to other fighters, but this game does have you know, a lobby function, and that's what the group match function stuff is. And then wireless battle is, I think, just local stuff. So as you can see, I have no data for that, and I've never had data for that. So we're gonna check out friendly matches. I think what I'll do, because you are able to change the perspective depending on who was playing, so I can either go from the Blastoise player's perspective or from the Blaziken player's perspective. I play as Blastoise in all of these fights. So I think what I was going to do was, from the winner's side, I would just look at the perspective of the winner's side, but it might be more interesting to just see how what my opponents see all the time. So I think I'll just go and I'll do that. And we'll all be able to sit back and relax. I have not watched any of these fights. I tend not to watch any fights that I do unless I lose. Unless I lose a fight, I'm usually not looking at my replays. I definitely don't usually look at replays of matches that I've won, just because I'm like, hey, I did the best I could possibly do in that fight. I won the fight. Okay. So before we do anything else, when you go to the replay, or when you use the replay function, you're able to select around, you're able to reset it. You can display gauges if you like, so you can just get a totally clear screen like that. I'm going to turn the gauges on. You can display input history, so I would do this when I was playing people that I was suspicious of mashing, just so I could see, were they really mashing to get out of whatever it is that I did. And then you have like the most useful function for me, which is the switch camera and playback replay. So that's what we'll be doing. I'm going to look from the perspective of the Blaziken player. Alright, and I guess I'll just go through, I guess, analyses of my Blastoise. Okay, I don't remember every move that Blaziken has, because I'm not a Blaziken main, and I haven't really been looking at the character. But at least from a Blastoise standpoint, I can look at things. Okay. So, you know, Blaziken is able to erase Blastoise's projectiles by doing that that hurricane kick. I'm throwing out Bubble. I don't want him to come at me from the air. When you run Blastoise, it's a lot easier if you do low altitude bubbles as opposed to high, because Blastoise hovers in the air a lot, and that leaves him open to get hit a lot. So in response, Blaziken's able to get rid of those bubbles by because Blaziken has an air dash, and he's able to do a series of air kicks, and those air kicks will get rid of the bubble, and they'll usually be able to hit me as Blastoise before I'm able to respond with a high stance, weak attack, or a hydro pump. So now I have him trapped, and when he's trapped, I just want to throw down a lot of water sprouts as much as I can, but I still have to make sure that I'm not spamming buttons. I could feel that my playstyle is changing, okay, in my in more recent fights that I have. You know what, it does feel a little different when I'm not looking at it from my perspective. Stuck out a fireball and kicked an enemy. Oh, I waited for it. Okay. Okay, that's a miss. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, because Blaziken can pretty easily fly over those projectiles. So I mixed it up that time and was able to land knock him out of the air. Yeah, Blaziken's got a flop. See, that's what I'm talking about with bubble. If you do it too high up, it takes him forever to come back down, so you really want to do it low to the ground. Okay, I went into burst before he could grab me. Now it's just play keep away from him. That was a nice grab. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll try to condition my opponent with mid-range projectiles and just keep them blocking so that I can then put down the command grab, which is a water pulse. That's the hurricane kick I was talking about. Okay, that Blaziken's counterattack, you can avoid those by using low attacks. Ow. Okay. Yeah, what characters like Blaziken, when you're fighting a big slow character like Blastoise, and like you'll see it when I fight Mewtwo players and Shadow Mewtwo players in my Blastoise videos, they really want to push Blastoise up to the wall as quickly as possible, and then keep him on the wall. Okay, because I find that as a Blastoise, like he's already got my shield in the red, and I had to go for a counter or something, otherwise he was gonna break my shield. But when you run those characters against Blastoise, you want to put them on the wall as fast as possible, because as a Blastoise player, we'll go to the next one. As a Blastoise player, I find that like half the fight is staying, like making sure that your opponent can't put you on the wall. If they can't put you on the wall, it's a pretty even fight for the overwhelming majority of the cast, I tend to find. With the exception of, you know, your Gardevoirs, your Suicunes, your Chandelures, because oftentimes Chandelure will put out. Hey, I gotta switch the camera real quick. Because oftentimes Chandelure will put out these flame, I guess, projectiles, and those flame projectiles will crush counters. Okay, and that'll completely eliminate Blastoise's ability to run rapid spin in the fight. Okay, so then Blastoise has to rely on jumping, and it's just not fun some of those matchups. But this is pretty much the same game plan. You want to put Blastoise on the wall as quickly as possible. Ow. Yeah, I tried to slide under, but he was able to hit me with those aerial weak attack kicks. Blaziken can spend HP to get enhanced versions of his attacks. So like that move where he shot into the air, that was Sky Uppercut. Ow! That's me putting down Water Spout. I'm trying to keep him in one spot long enough, and it's like I can't hang back forever, otherwise he's gonna be encouraged to jump and fly his way over to me. So I just want to keep him in one spot, keep him pinned down for long enough that I can chip him with my stronger attacks. let me get rid of the input history. Yeah, that's me not blocking, because I'm very used to my opponent trying to grab me often, like across the entire roster. The roster wants to grab Blastoise because they're expecting Blastoise players to use a panic rapid spin, and rapid spin is very easy to punish with a grab.
Round 2.
So yeah, when you do find yourself on the wall as Blastoise, it really is like a patience and comfort kind of deal, fighting in the corner. I would kind of encourage people that want to play Blastoise to get used to almost like put yourself in the corner. It's like I had a phase where I needed to learn how to fight in the corner as Blastoise, so I would give my opponent the phase shift and then like backdash into a corner and then fight my way out. So sometimes you'll see me do that. I'll knock somebody down, jump high into the air, go for a bubble, and then try to knock them into the bubble with another attack. Ouch. Yeah, I thought he was going to go into the air, but he didn't. Yeah, so at a higher level, my opponent's got to get creative with grabs. But that's usually a reliable strategy. That was ugly. Alright, so that one went to Festive. Do another one. Okay, so this one takes place on the night stage. I really wish that there was like a day-night toggle for some of these stages, because the stages really do look nice at night. This one though, the nighttime version of this stage, which is called Neo City. This stage is actually one of the larger stages in the game compared to the daytime variant, which is I think the smallest stage in the game. So yeah, me throwing down traps can kind of let me push him into them and force a block off of him. In that time, I did not bounce back after landing my high stance weak attack, because that usually lets my opponent just walk up to me and block me. And grab me. That's throwing out another bubble. If you get your opponent on the ground, just throw out a bubble. It's just a good defense. Ouch. Okay, I went low real quick to cover my mistake. Sometimes you can stay in Shell Fortress. Oftentimes it'll look like you're able to punish a move your opponent does, but because Blastoise is so slow, that punish will never come. It's like you'll never get off that punish. So I got hit by Frogadier. Ouch. Probably should have gone for a rapid spin there. That's him staggering the shield. These are close fights.
Round 2.
Okay. Ooh. Yeah, that time I caught him in the air. See what I mean about bubble? So whenever you can put it out, just put it out. Even if you don't actually hit them with it, you can make them hesitate or just hang back or sit in a low stance. And at best, you can maybe put down some chip. Yeah, so that time he decided to eat the hit on bubble by countering. Use 6Y to stop his charge. Ouch. I tried to use a strong attack to knock him down real quick. It didn't work. Okay, so that's a punish, yeah. Am I accidentally turning on the input. All right, so I think that's number 3. I forget how many matches we played as Blastoise versus Blaziken, but after a certain number of fights, he said I'll switch to Suicune, since Suicune was the main. So this is, I guess this is the last of the recorded matches that I had, or the last of the matches that didn't get pushed out. Oh, and you have different win rates, you know, for ranked and for friendly and group matches, or it doesn't matter, you know. Like the win rate doesn't actually matter or anything. Delay input history or display input history. Okay. Okay. I often customize my avatar. I do that a lot. Different skin tones, different hair colors, different outfits. I find that the female is easier to customize. I just feel like they have more options. So here, I'm just trying to keep him in field for as long as possible and put as much damage on him. It didn't last very long. Okay, I just went for a quick knockdown. Keep him in field without shifting phases. Ooh, very nice. When Blastoise is in high stance, you're able to avoid, I think, most high attacks. Like, just outright. Just as long as you're charging it. Okay, that time I knew I had enough. I had hit him enough already. Got a short combo with switch phases. Yeah, I'm just I'm just trying to keep away from him. Yeah, I'm trying to bleed out. I'm trying to bleed out his burst. Okay. Yeah, that'll happen a lot as Blastoise. You'll get set up on with supports. the one of the more common ones is them knocking you down and then throwing out the Mimikyu support and then going for a grab, because I don't think you can actually avoid that. I think it's unblockable in a sense, you know, in the sense that if you don't block it and if you try to attack, you're gonna get hit by Mimikyu and, you know, you're gonna get comboed on, and if you block it, then they're gonna grab you. The one that I use as Braixen is I use a version of it with Miss Magius, which honestly, I think I'm the only one that does it. Where you just get a knockdown, you throw down Miss Magius, and it's pretty much the same result. You can either grab them when they get up, or if they try to attack you, then Miss Magius is going to disrupt them. Yeah, I play a lot differently than how I used to. I don't usually look at my old videos, like from what I've uploaded on YouTube. Okay, so what are we doing here? That's a kick. Yeah, you got caught. But I have so much HP that it's not gonna take me out. Sometimes I just find myself going into synergy bursts just to offset theirs, because I'll get, like, they'll bully me if I don't go into my own burst. And it's like, just fire and keep them away. Alright, so that's the last of the Blaziken fights that I had. So next will be all Suicune fights. So give me a sec, I just gotta. Alright, let's cancel this. So I guess what I can do. Oh, yeah, I guess of these 4 Blaziken fights, I won 3 out of the 4, but of our, I believe, 12 Blastoise Suicune fights, I think I only won 5 of them. Festive won the other 7. And what? I guess I will I'll go to my perspective when I win, and I'll go to Festive's perspective when he wins. So I'll go and I'll do that just to change it up a little bit, because sometimes it's hard for me to figure out what I was thinking unless I'm seeing it from my perspective. Like there will be sometimes during this fight where Suicune will like put up a ice wall, and because that ice wall obscures your view, you won't be able to see what the other person's doing. Alright, so this is a very hard fight for Blastoise, because Blastoise can't freely fire with projectiles because he's going to get immediately mirror coated. So what I have to do is I have to try and condition Festive into triggering mirror coat like he just did. I have to condition him into throwing down mirror coat, and like notice how he keeps canceling the blizzards. It's like very different from how I'm playing right now. The reason why that grab didn't go off is because I was still in stun on my shield from getting hit by the icicles. So when you got those water chops out like that, just throw down a water spout. Okay. If you hit Suicune fast enough before Suicune pulls up mirror coat, you can hit it before it pulls up mirror coat. Yeah, that was a bad move. I should have just shot into the air to avoid it. So now I'm stuck on the wall, and I chose to counter my way out of Dragonite. Throw down another trap. Okay. Yeah, like that. That's what I'm talking about. If you do it before Suicune's able to pull it up, you can hit Suicune out of mirror coat. But it's still very much I can't fire at will. So now Suicune's keeping it close range, which is where Blastoise is absolutely horrible at. Blastoise is very bad at close range. So mid-range is where I want to be at. So you'll see me really try to force mid-range. Against certain characters, I can't go long range because I'm still Blastoise and I'm slow. And I think the rest of the cast just has projectiles that are faster than me. So there it is with the high altitude bubble, knocking them into it. So I'm using burst to offset the burst. Yeah, and with that, I'm just throwing down Dark Pulse to keep him in one spot long enough so that he doesn't push the assault on me with Dragonite. Alright. So the next two are Festive. So we'll do this. Yeah, Suicune has some cool controls. Okay, so how does the other half live? Oh, I charged to Earthquake thinking Suicune was closer than it actually was. He's canceling a lot to keep me on my toes, and I can't reach too hard, because if I reach and I get hit, it's gonna hurt me more than it'll hurt Suicune. So this time I got him. And right now I'm just trying to I was fortunate that I was too far away for that to hit. Otherwise I would have gotten hit by Mirror Coat. Okay, so now he's got me on the wall and he's going to try to keep me there. And I'm trying to get out of it. So now I have him mid-range and I want to keep him mid-range as best I can. Oop, couldn't get away. See? Oh!
Round two.
I have to be very careful with the projectiles that I put out. Alright, cool. Yeah, Blastoise can cancel his air dash in field phase, and when he cancels it, it turns into a counter. Woo! Yeah, so it's like I'm just trying to condition him into throwing down Mirror Coat. He'll get these quick knockdowns and gradually force me into a wall. Usually the ice fence doesn't bother me as Blastoise. Yeah, I don't think he'll start using geysers until later. We were laughing back and forth throughout all of our matches. Okay. Ah. Okay. That wasn't so bad. Oh. Oh, yep. I should not have backdashed. I should have just held the shield. But because I am Blastoise. Oh, yep. That stopped it. Yeah, that attack hits higher than I thought it did. Snow stage this time. So this is the oval stage. Ooh, cutting it close with that. Yeah, just stagger out single shots. I can't really do any follow-up reliably. Woo! That was bad. I can't really do any kind of follow-up reliably for risk of getting hit by Mirror Coat. Yeah, see. That time I was able to get off a water spout, but that's the game plan, so to speak, is to get Suicune to throw down Mirror Coat often so that you can get off easy water spouts. So notice how his jump ins. He jumped in with an aerial weak attack, and then after he hit me, he then went for a launcher. I can't do that as Blastoise. Or rather, I would have to do it with the in a very specific way. Because like Blastoise's aerial weak attacks, he has different versions of it. I would have to jump toward my opponent, do the closed version of that aerial projectile, and then launch my opponent. Okay, so I'm just keeping it mid-range. That time they were bouncing around a little too much.
Round 2.
Yeah, whenever I can, I'm throwing down that shoulder tackle. Ooh, ah! Whenever I can, I'm throwing down that shoulder tackle. What I tried to do there was I tried to fire a water gun and then Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse is an ethereal projectile, and it can pierce counters. So I was hoping to pierce Mirror Coat with Dark Pulse before water gun hit. And yep, got tagged by Mirror Coat. I gotta get to mid-range. I'm trying to take up that little synergy duel. Sometimes it's better to just jump over your opponent. Alright. I'm sticking in mid-range because that's where all of Blastoise's best moves are. Ooh. Did I win this or did he make a big comeback? Should have just tapped the hydro pump. Shouldn't have charged it. Yeah, I canceled that counter because I saw it wasn't gonna go anywhere. Yeah, right now Suicune has to be aggressive. I can just sit in my shield for the time being. If you land that low stance strong attack on your opponent's shield, it becomes a 50-50. Boy, my shield. Yep. Now Mirror Coat won't break your shield though. Oh man, yeah, he came back. He turned it all the way back around.